I must admit, it is hard saying goodbye to precious items, but it's also a great opportunity to put the money towards something you really do enjoy. And now for a bit of fascinating textile history that I unravelled in Scotland. When Floggett visited Paisley back in 2007, I had the opportunity to explore the local weaving industry and find out a little bit more about the pattern so famously associated with the town. In the swinging 60s, Paisley enjoyed a psychedelic revival, and you could find it on just about anything. But where did it all start? The town of Paisley is synonymous with this distinctive teardrop shape that we know today as the Paisley pattern, but it didn't originate in Scotland at all. It actually is an ancient symbol believed to represent the shoot of a date palm. The pattern first appeared in Britain on shawls woven in India. They were brought back as gifts for wives and daughters in the mid-18th century, and they soon became a must-have fashion accessory. The long, rectangular shape made an elegant drape for the straight dress of the time. But the shawls cost around £70 to £100 each, which meant only the most wealthy women could afford them, really. So it wasn't long before other weaving centres started making their own more affordable versions. Places like Edinburgh, Norwich and Paisley were among them. Paisley had been a well-known weaving centre for hundreds of years, and in the early 1800s, Paisley weavers were among the highest paid workers in Britain because of their high degree of skill. They were so good at copying the intricate designs from India that production in the town dramatically increased. And it's said that they even sent agents from Paisley down to London to copy the latest Kashmir designs as they arrived by sea. And within a short space of time, imitations were being sold all over London for around £12. In fact, fashionable ladies all over the country were visiting their local drapers asking to see a selection of Paisleys, which is exactly what we've got here on display in this wonderful converted building. It is a real gem. It's the Anchor Mill. And this is just part of the collection that's been loaned to us today from the Paisley Museum. And Ellen Farmer from the Old Paisley Society has come to tell us more about them. So why did they become so popular, Ellen? It's probably a silly question, because looking at them, oh, they're so gorgeous, aren't they? It's like, I want one.
Absolutely, they're absolutely stunning, and I suppose they were that must-have of their day. Yeah. They were expensive, so something that was expensive even to this day, if it's got the right label on it.
A status symbol.
Posh would have a couple of them.
They are massive, aren't they?
Yes, they were worn to keep you warm when you were wearing a crinoline. Crinolines were massive.
Oh, right, big dresses,
That's
big
right.
crinolines.
And the length of that and the width of it meant that you could fold it and it would cover your crinoline and keep you warm.
What were the early ones made of?
Cotton and silk. The original cashmere were made from the Kashmir goats.
Right.
They even tried in Paisley, they brought some goats over from Afghanistan to breed, but they made a big mistake. They brought a dozen over, but they were all females.
Oh dear.
So there was no chance.
They learnt the hard way, didn't they,
They
really?
learnt the hard way, so
My
it was mainly
word.
cotton and silk.
On this level, they're altogether a lot more colourful, aren't they? More vibrant hues in them.
Well, I think by this time they had created some artificial dyes and could brighten the colours. I mean, the red in this one is absolutely wonderful.
This is quite vivid, isn't it? I like this. It's quite striking.
And it was a colour that most of the dye works in Paisley used quite a lot of. I think at one point it was called turkey red.
Turkey
But
red.
it's beautiful.
It is stunning, isn't it?
Really vibrant.
But people wanted the busier patterns, I
Of
guess.
course they did. The further you get into the Victorian era, the busier everything got, furniture as well as...
Which was my next question. Young Queen Victoria. Now, I know what ladies are like, and they're very fashionable, and they want the must-haves of the day. Right. Did she wear one?
She did. In fact, when I think it was, I can't remember, one of her children was being baptised and she ordered 19 Paisley shawls to choose which one she would wear to the christening. Wow. And that helped popularise them again.
By the 1830s, spinning techniques had improved and all woolen shawls were produced for the first time. And with the introduction of the jacquard loom, which used the latest technology of punch cards, they were able to create a woven pattern all over the shawl instead of just around the border. Well, I can see the pattern all the way through the shawl now. How else have they evolved?
You're now able to fill in the whole of the shawl because of the jacquard loom.
Yes, yeah.
So you can start experimenting with other materials, other designs. Printed shawl, be lighter. You could wear your Paisley shawl in the summer, but it wasn't too heavy.
And a lot cheaper.
And a lot cheaper. It meant that anyone could buy it if they could print it. And that doesn't do for fashion, that you want anyone to be able to wear it. It must be exclusive.
Well, that pattern is iconic, isn't it? And it's going to be around for many more centuries.
Oh, forever, I would say, Paul, forever. It's just something that never really gets completely out of fashion.
Well, you know what they say about fashion anyway. It goes around in
Right.
cycles, and shawls will become very popular.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ellen, thank you so much for taking time out and talking to us today. I've certainly learnt lots. And a little tip I can give you, which I picked up from Ellen earlier on. The most desirable ones with the collectors, they're not the earliest, they're the ones with the pattern right through the middle. And if you can find one of those in a charity shop, then all I say is snap it up real quick.
Absolutely.